Alright, so I'm just gonna jump straight into it, ranking all the Titan shifters from the weakest to strongest. Among the 9 Titans, there are many shifters, and I'll just be listing them down who's the weakest and who's the strongest. Just a disclaimer, I will be not be talking about any Titan shifters that you don't see anything from. For example, like Royals, yeah, we know that the strongest just because they can right click, delete, and now you can't think of anything, like they can basically control you. But because they have the promise WoW or whatever you call it. Unless you want to have it like you stick a controller to them and then you control them, maybe yeah. But otherwise, there will be in character. Also, I will be combining Titans that have the same power, like Marcel and Galliard, Grisha and Kruger, because we don't know what Kruger or Marcel can do. Just because we don't have their feats, I'm just gonna be combining them. I have counted a total of 16 people I could rank over here, and like I said before, the Royals won't be on the list. And if you want to give them the ability of mind control, then, easy win for them. Although, I think the only Royal we can put here is probably Frida, because we have seen her fight. With that being said, at number 16 is Tom Kasaver. Honestly, the only reason he is here because we get to see him fight in the final season part 4 season. Oh my god, I forgot. Final season part 3 episode 2, whatever it's called. We did get to see him fight, and he did have a little bit of feats of here and there, which is pretty odd since he says he's not a fighter and he does not get sent to the battlefield, which is pretty stupid because of, I don't know, it's just a 15-meter Titan against a human. Like, what is the human gonna do? And not to mention we seen him fight, or whatever, maybe it was retconned or whatever, but from his statements and whatever little we see, we have to put him at 16th place. At number 15, I have Frida Reese. Some might be shocked putting Frida beneath Eek, but just hear me out. Since this is in character and we only can use the feats we see in the show, she doesn't really have much going for herself. Now if you give her the full powers of the Titans, like the Royal Blood, Alter or Body Alter, whatever you call it, then yeah, she'll probably be the 3rd strongest on this list, but because she can't do that, she's not that strong. In the fight against Grisha, she kinda just got bodied by him pretty easily. And the little mind control thing she does to Historia, she doesn't do against Grisha. Which either A, she cannot use it in her Titan form, she can only use it in her human form. Or B, the attack Titan might actually have some sort of resistance to the founding Titan. The attack Titan is supposed to be all that. Only reason she is above Kasaver is because at least she tried to fight versus Kasaver, who never even went to fight in a battle. Number 14th is Peak. Surprisingly, she's over here, despite being a 4-meter tall Titan, which is physically the weakest because, it's kind of the smallest there is. She does surprisingly make it here. She's really quick, like the Jaw Titan, and I don't know, she might even have the Jaw Titan's power because of her feats during the final arc. The whole ability of being able to inject yourself and then abuse the Titan power. And she's able to also bite through their napes, which is like a Jaw Titan ability, so maybe the mouse can do more than just look ugly, I guess. But honestly, that's the only reason she's here. If you give her special weapon that she mounts on the back, maybe she'll be higher on the list, but that's cheating. At number 13, I have the attack Titan of Grisha and Eren Kruger. Now I am combining Kruger and Grisha together, like I said before, just because we don't have enough feeds from Kruger. Although Kruger does have full 13 years with the Titan, so he might be stronger than Grisha. The thing about the attack Titan is that it just has immense power. Eren, despite not having much skills as Annie, he was kind of just ragdolling her around every time he would punch her. Grisha was able to beat Frida quite easily, I might add. She didn't put up much of a fight. That may be due to because Frida does not have much experience, although Grisha does. As we've seen him train with the Titan power, before he got to the walls, he was just killing Titans left and right. He's above P because first off he's way bigger than her and he could just one-shot her. I doubt the whole ejecting and biting the nape would work on the Titans above that are on the list because they're actually intelligent people controlling the Titan. And now some mindless dead Titan shifters on the past were just resurrected as mindless Titans. So Grisha and Kruger together at 13. At number 12, I have is Ymir, not to confuse with original Ymir, not to confuse with the original Ymir. The Jaw Titan is a better version of the Card Titan. She might not be able to abuse the ejection ability like Peak does, She can probably use it like more than like at least like 3-4 times, considering that Falco just abuses the ability like so many times in the same day. Ymir also seems to have some experience with the Titan, that she's able to like half get out or like at least control it and speak with it, implying that she also trained outside, kind of like Grisha. Although her durability is not good, as mindless Titans are almost able to kill her, but her attack power is also immense, as the Jaw Titans, like plural, have like amazing just like speed and just power. Maybe not strength, but definitely like claw and jaw power. In the fight against Grisha, I would guess it would probably go like whoever attacks like lands the attack first wins. If Grisha is able to punch her, then yeah, he would win. But if she's able to like cut off his legs or something, or like you might go for a punch and she just like bites his hand, and like there's nothing much Grisha can do. He has to heal. Or Ymir can just like jump around it. At number 11, I have Falco. Falco does not have like any experience. I think like he has time power for like what, like 3 days maybe. And even then, the only day he does use it, the same day it disappears. The reason he's above Grisha and Ymir is because of his flying ability. The fact that he can just like jump out of their range and like fly around, like dive in like a bird or something. And also he does surprisingly know how to fight, as he was like fighting the scouts, the same scouts that are like now like professionals at killing Titans. Like they messed up Annie and Reiner, and here's like Falco fighting along with them. And also in the whole like he also was able to like find all the scouts, save them from the rumbling, like the founding Titan of Eren, and also like dodge like arrows of like bunch of like Warhammer Titans. Like his reaction timing is actually like surprisingly pretty well. Honestly, you could switch out Ymir and Grisha and Falco, and honestly the list would not change much. For Ymir and Grisha, it's literally whoever like lands the attack first, but for Falco I feel like it's kind of even hard to like land an attack on him. He is fast both on the ground and in the sky. Like remember, like neither the Warhammer Titans nor the scouts could get him. Although I feel like Flock would be one person that would be caught off guard by Peak's sneak attack ejection ability, because like again, he does not have much experience, so honestly you could put him below Grisha, and the list would not change that much either way. People might crucify me for this, but at number 10 I have Annie. A lot of people like really overhype Annie for some reason. Like yeah, she beat like season 1 Eren, where he barely had any control of the Titan power. Granted, by the time he did fight her, he did have like at least like majority of the control, as he was still in rage and couldn't fight using techniques, only just like punch, hooga puga. Even then, he was like giving Annie a run for her money, like a single punch where Eren would like send Annie flying. Her power just comes from the hardening ability and her skills. And round 2, she did lose to Eren. Now I know she was trying to run away, she was not exactly trying to fight him and the entire scouts. Most people say that will she beat Eren, and then like Eren almost beat Reiner, so why isn't Reiner below her? That's because you have to like look at where Eren fought both of them. Like Eren was in full control while he fought Reiner, versus Annie he was just like borderline like mindless and angry. With Reiner he did use techniques, and also Reiner like would have beat Eren. The only reason Reiner like did lose was because like Mikasa was there to like cut off his legs, so he couldn't even like use his legs for force. People like somehow forget that. And like season 3 part 2, like when they both fight, like Eren has a hardening ability, and even then like he needs help from like the scouts and the thunder spears. Reiner can also survive the blast of like a nuclear titan, like you know, the explosion. I really don't know what Annie is doing to him. The hardening would be able to honestly break and crack his armor, because if Eren's raw power was able to with wrestling, and Zeke most likely did beat him with the hardening, I think Annie could definitely like damage him. Based on the feats we have, she's definitely like below Reiner. At number 9, I do have the Plot Armor Titan along with Reiner. Now I already explained why he would beat Annie, but another thing is that as kids they did fight and Reiner did beat her. So I guess 1 point for like word abuse or something. Good chunk of points for Reiner actually covered in the Annie's section. People also forget that Reiner can like harden as well on top of his already hardening. Like Reiner is actually strong. He's not just like he's not like a ragdoll that Annie's gonna toss around. I mean, like, he is a ragdoll, but like the thing is, he just fights everyone that's stronger than him. It's like Jogo from JJK. Like he's like probably top 10 strongest characters in that show, but just like the two characters he fights are like number 1 and number 2. He was like every time he fights, like he almost wins, but he does it because of outside help. Like literally every fight against Eren, like I explained before, like because I had to cut his his leg so he couldn't like fight Eren, and the later fights they had to use the thunder spears and along with Eren's friend to like help him fight Reiner. He did lose against Zeke, and then he later lost against Eren, but that's because like Eren just got like way stronger. Honestly, I'll have to explain why Reiner isn't like higher up on the list. Unless he had the plot armor ability, but in that case he would probably be number 1. At number 8, I have the Galliard Titan. Now I call it the Galliard Titan, but it's the combination of both Porco and Marcel. They most likely went through the same training with the whole modeling program, and they could most likely do the exact same thing as one another, so I'm just gonna put them together. Honestly, I do not think he would rank this high, but if you look at his feats, this is something else. First off, it's like extremely fast, and his like attack power is just insanely high. With his claws and jaws, it can bite through anything. He also bit through like hardened Eren's hands. Galliard also almost killed Eren, but he was saved by Mikasa. He fought Eren twice. The second time he fought it was with Reiner and help of Pieck, but they were still like pressing him on a lot. This also could I guess be a point for Reiner as well. The thing about the Jaw Titan is that its durability is not that much, but it's just like you just don't want to fight it because it's just too fast and it just does way too much damage. Against the Armor Titan, honestly its armor would just be buttered to a hot knife because it would just not do anything at all. Honestly, might as well just take off all the armor for extra speed for Reiner. It also like scratched through like crystallization of the Warhammer Titan girl. Number 7, I have Zeke. He can just throw boulders at you or like whatever dirt thing, but he can also harden as well. You literally see him beat the Armor Titan off screen. And by the looks of it, Zeke was not huffing and puffing. He was just like, yep, Armor Titan defeated. He gave him like a rocky place. And he give him prep time, so he just gets a bunch of like Eldians, injects them, just hides them somewhere, and then like, I don't know, Reiner shows up like to ready to fight him, and he just like does a scream, and then like everyone transform, and they all like, he doesn't even need to fight. He can just like let his like underlings fight for him. And also he can fight close, and he can fight at long range as well. Like, he might not have a rock to throw at like in a fair fight, but he can just like pick up the Jaw Titan and the Car Titan and use them just like wait to the horse. And he's also the chief of the Titans, despite the fact that Bertolt is there, who should be the strongest. But I'm guessing he is the chief because of his intelligence and the way he can use his Titan power. At number 6, we have the Titan with the most character development, with all the trials they had to go through. Arguably the most memorable character when somebody thinks of Attack on Titan. Obviously, I'm joking. For a Titan that was only there for like one episode, it was like pretty ridiculous. It still made it season 4 Eren. Now obviously it has problems like energy reserves, like it can only transform once, kind of like the Colossal Titan. And of course its creation ability would also consume a lot of energy as well. So honestly, it just has to get the job done before it gets tired, which for most of the Titans it probably can't kill. At a distance, it can probably just snipe the Beast Titan with its crossbow or arrows. Unlike the Beast Titan, which like throw rocks and like hopefully one of them lands. Which on the Beast Titan case it probably will, but still. Now the Jaw Titan might be a challenge, but against the Jaw Titan, you just gotta do this. Now its battle IQ, it's pretty interesting because it's not dumb, but it's also not smart either. If you can somehow outlast its abilities to create weapons and tire it out, then yeah, you win. Even then, like only the Jaw Titan specifically, because you have to like break through his crystal, which is like borderline impossible to do. Like I don't even think you can defend his attack. Like Eren tried, and he's like, huh, that's odd, what happened to my hands? I will also say is one of his greatest weaknesses is that it's easy to beat as well, surprisingly, because all you gotta see is like, huh, there's a wire going to it. Let's see what happens when I do this. Now Eren was able to do it because of the Warhammer Titan was getting distracted by Mikasa, but someone like Zeke or Pieck could probably pull this off. But then there's another problem. Once you do disconnect it, like how do you even like beat his crystal? You just like can't do anything about that. And that's even if it even lets you, like with Eren, like it was distracted by Mikasa. But if imagine someone like Peak tried doing that, it would just like it would immediately like pierce up spikes from the ground. Ironically, his greatest strength is also his greatest weakness. Mr. Eren Yeager is honestly a because you have the Marleyan warriors who have been training since childhood, since they were kids, on hand-to-hand combat and just overall training. Not to mention they've had Titan training on how to control the Titan. And then later on when they go to Parades, they have additional like few years of training. Like at this point, these Titans should be like gods, honestly. And then here is Eren, who just has the Titan power and he's like almost on par with them. Imagine you train since childhood with like, I don't know, the way of the bow or something. You get your teenage years, you still continue your training, you're still one of the best around there is. And this guy comes out of nowhere who just started training like maybe like, I don't know, 2 years ago, and you've been training for 10 years, and this guy who trained for 2 years only trains his muscles, by the way, not even with the bow. And one day he picks up the bow and he's like almost as good as you. That's basically what Eren did. Like, yeah, Eren had like a few years of training with the whole cadet corps, and so did Annie and Reiner. Like, they had additional training, but he never had training with the Titan power. And then he had to fight Annie, at which point Annie, yeah, like did win, but that was like one of the probably toughest fight Annie ever had. And then not to mention Reiner when he fights him in season 2. Like, he almost wins, and that's again because of the scouts. I think Eren definitely would have lost if it wasn't for like Mikasa cutting off Reiner's legs. But you don't just train for 2 years and almost beat the guy who's been training for 10 years. And then in season 4 he just gets a Warhammer Titan, and at that point what do you even do? Like, here's Reiner and the Jaw Titan just trying to beat him, but he just like beating them a lot. Only reason he lost was because of Peak, and that's why she is special. At number 4 and 3, I do have Armin and Bertolt. In a moment, I will explain who is stronger, but first, I have to explain why they beat every other Titan on the list. Well, if the nuclear bomb that doesn't wipe out everyone, I'm pretty sure it's sheer size, weight, and power will. We've already seen him beat like season 3 Eren, just with a single kick and sent him flying and knocked him off for a few minutes. Now imagine if it was trying to crush him instead. Like, it really is unfair. Like, as soon as the battle starts, it's like, and then you're dead. The only one that can survive is like Reiner, Eren, the Warhammer Titan, and the Warhammer Titan. Even then, it's just gonna like beat you up anyway. Like, it's just gonna look at the Warhammer Titan's crystal and just gonna go. You literally see him bite through Reiner. Its bite force might honestly be stronger than the Jaw Titans. Not to mention its heat. Like, if you don't have hardening around you, you're probably just gonna end up burning while fighting him. And even if you do have the hardening, if the fight is like long enough, which it probably won't, but even if it is, the hardening might just start melting off. There's like almost nothing you can do. Now between Bertolt and Armin, I honestly thought Bertolt would be stronger, but Armin has a pretty nice feats. Like, he's able to destroy the Eren's founding Titan with the explosion. I don't know if Armin's explosion is stronger, but I don't think Bertolt can do that, considering he couldn't even destroy the Armor Titan, and that thing gets destroyed by everyone. Not to mention, Armin went hand to hand with Eren's Colossal Titan, and Armin does have like control over it as well, because he did train for 4 years during the time skip. Not to mention, he's just way more intelligent than Bertolt as well. It's pretty ironic, Bertolt and Armin, who are like the lapdogs of the main characters, are like stronger than the main characters themselves. Now I just have to explain why the two Titans above them are stronger. At number 2 and 1, without any surprise, we have the founding Titans of Ymir and Eren Yeager. Now, I personally had Ymir at second and Eren at first, just because this is, again, in character. Like, yeah, Ymir is the strongest, she could probably control Eren's Titan power too, just because, like, you know, she's the founding one. Yeah, obviously, she would be the strongest, she has the power of every Titan. Mentally stable Ymir would be the strongest, without a doubt. Eren can't even use a founding Titan without her and Zeke. Like, in character, Eren would win. He would probably like try to convince her, like maybe just like be really, really mean to her.
You are worthless. Your life literally is as valuable as a summer ant. You serve no purpose in life. Your life is nothing. You serve zero purpose. You should kill yourself now and give somebody else a piece of that oxygen and ozone layer that's covered up so that we can breathe inside this blue trap bubble. Because what are you here for? To worship me? Kill yourself. I mean that with 100%, with 1,000%.
I mean, especially considered if you have every single like royal blood member here, like they would just be like number second this, number three this, number four this, like, because they're just like the Falling Titan is way too OP, but we just never seen it because like the only person who can use it is like they made a promise not to use it, or we just seen Eren Yeager who just like destroyed 80% of humanity. I really hope you liked my ranking of these characters. Don't really have much to say here. It honestly took me like around 5 months to make this. Not because it was just hard work, but because I was just extremely lazy. If you want to show some love, please like, comment, and subscribe, just to let me know that people are actually watching this and liking this. And maybe just tell me in the comments what you want to see more in the future. Thank you and peace out.